Rotation 3 continues here in Fort Worth. Jade Carey, the 21-year-old from Phoenix who won the vault title back in 2017 at the U.S. Championships, just about ready to go.
2017 at the World, she also won a silver medal on both vault and floor exercise.
Yurchenko double full, so she's doing, as we mentioned, even on the floor exercise, little less difficulty than she is capable of doing. You know, there's really no need to kind of rush being at your peak and at your prime, especially for somebody like Jade, already qualified her spot onto the Olympic team. She is.
But you see that right ankle, it's taped up, and she said that she really stung it at the Classic, where she did the same vault that Simone did for her first vault, the Cheng.
Yeah, she secured a spot via the Apparatus World Cup Series individual spot, but she could still wrap up a spot as one of the team members getting in the team event.
Yeah. At the Olympic trials, if you place first or second from those two meets, you get a locked spot.
Yep.
In case anyone is ever confused about the qualification process to
made
make
it
an
more
Olympic
difficult,
team,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
And great vault once again, capable of doing a lot more difficulty here on really both of those vaults, but put a check by it. Mission accomplished here for her.
So we take you from vault over to uneven bars, and the 18-year-old from Minnesota, Grace McCallum, part of the World Championships in 2018 and 2019, and all the success at that level for the USA women. And in 2019, the U.S. all-around bronze medalist. What about her situation now in terms of maybe making it to Tokyo?
Oh, she is right there. I mean, there are a number of athletes that are right, you know, they are so close together. Her, DiCello, Skinner, there are a bunch of them. But she, you know, all these athletes, we're talking about how difficult the pandemic was. It was very hard for her as well. And in the comeback, getting back in shape, she broke a bone in her hand. It's called a boxer's fracture. Had to have surgery, a plate put in, 7 screws to stabilize the joint. You know, I talked with her coach a lot, Sarah Jency, and she sometimes it's a little frustrated because she's capable of doing all of these elements connected, and oftentimes she kind of wiggles her way out and doesn't do it all. You see the scar on that left hand.
Her coach actually told us that she has almost no aches and pains recently, so other than that hand, she has really been better off physically than most of these athletes. Gorgeous combination right there.
And that's the one that a lot of times she gets a little antsy on.
Oh, wow.
And she's so capable of doing that. Just kind of took her toes off the bar a little bit too late. The opening of the body doesn't thrust her enough forward, and she just floats away from the bar. 1 full point deduction when you come off the apparatus. She didn't even touch the bar, so she gets no value for that skill as well.
So, as you mentioned, Tim, no value, and of course the point off in deduction.
So a tough go on uneven bars for Grace McCallum, and before she went, it was Kayla DiCello. And take you back to that effort as well. And they're talking things over right now. You can kind of get an idea of how it went. Another one of those young Olympic hopefuls.
First handstand a little short there. Of course, the judge is looking for everything to be right on top of the bar in a handstand. Recovered very well from that.
Had the highest score on the uneven bars at the U.S. Classic. This is really tricky. She just couldn't get her hands all the way around the bar. The gymnasts wear these grips, and they have what's called a dowel on them. And if you catch on top of your dowel, really just about impossible to stay on.
12.9 for the 17-year-old from Boyd's, Maryland, who is the U.S. Junior all-around champ. Back in 2019, 3 junior world medals as well. But a struggle on the uneven bars.
Trains at Hills Gymnastics. Kelly Hill, who has coached many, many great gymnasts throughout the year. Elise Ray, Dominique Dawes.
And in red as well, the number for Grace McCallum.
She'll be better come the Olympic trials. She looks much better than she did at U.S. Classic, and she's going to get better and better.
And overall, the field looks much better than they did at the U.S. Classic, right?
Oh, I would say so, absolutely. And again, it's kind of that timing of the plan and the preparation to really try to be at your peak mid-July.
Man Wong had a solid showing at that U.S. Classic, the 17-year-old now.
As well, but
oh boy,
supposed to connect those two elements, had to take an extra swing.
Missed that skill at the Classic. She's capable of doing a double twisting double layout. I don't know what she's going to do, maybe just the double layout, and she does.
What is it about bars right now?
Yeah. You know, one of the things is these bars that they're swinging on, this is not what is typically in the gyms across America. AAI is the typical supplier. These bars are actually Seno bars, which are the Japanese brand that they'll be swinging on in Tokyo, and they are very, very different. And, you know, so it, some of the gymnasts, Suni, said she didn't like it at all at first, and then now she says she's gotten used to it and loves them.
Yeah, you know, and it's such a personal preference. Something like the balance beam, it's even different types of equipment or different brands of equipment. It's still 4 inches wide, right? The uneven bars, sometimes the bounce of the bar, the flexibility of them, it's so different.
Speaking of balance beam, over to it now, Michaela Skinner.
Really big element. A back handspring into a back full. So much harder to do it from this first skill. Oh, goodness. I tell you, I see her do this in practice over and over again, and it is rock solid, but she fell on that a couple of weeks ago at the Classic as well.
Of course, nobody's going to be making an Olympic team here at the National Championships, but still a lot on the line, making the national team, qualifying on to the Olympic trials. And even at the Olympic trials, you know, it's every single time you go out there on the competition floor that the selection committee, they are looking and back at every single performance, looking for consistency. But impressive finish there. And I mean, it's just been so incredible to watch her be back out here on the elite scene, on the competition floor.
Yeah, was a star at the University of Utah, NCAA all-around runner-up twice, Michaela Skinner, but the number for Leanne Wong and a struggle over on uneven bars as we continue in Texas.
I see you, Francesca. Love the energy today, climbing the leaderboard.
For loving the feeling
Go, 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 boom!
and feeling the love.
Personal best, you crushed it.
Fitness changes lives.
Men's Night 2 coming your way, 8 o'clock Eastern, and then encore presentation of Men's Night 2 and NBC with the Women's Night 2. Simone Biles, the headliner, of course, here at the U.S. Championships. How about one of the all-time great running backs in NFL history with Danian Tomlinson? Got his daughter out here watching Simone Biles, Hall of Famer. So one of the all-time greats watching the all-time great in Simone. We welcome you back in, Terry Gannon, Nasty Luke, and Tim Daggett. I guess you want to start with Simone. What you've seen so far tonight jumps out, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, speaking about greats, I mean, it's hard to think about the competition and avoid the obvious. She is out here just in a complete league of her own, going for her 7th national title, and really no competition out there. She is so far above the field, not just in the standings, not just in the scores and the points, but the skills that she's doing, the confidence, every single thing about her, it is just absolutely incredible.
All right, how about other than Simone?
Well, Jordan Chiles, she has been a rock star in every routine she has competed this year so far. Unbelievable. And don't forget about Suni Lee. She looks fantastic as well.
Yeah, the big names that we expected to really bring it tonight at the U.S. Championships, they are. And Simone Biles continues to lead here in Fort Worth.